Welcome back to A Different Kind of Woman. Joining us in the studio today, we'll be discussing Generation X, Y, and Z, is activities coordinator, researcher, journalist, and retired charity director, Carlie Newman. Welcome, Carlie.
Thank you. Hello.
Welcome. Hello. You have been previously on our programs talking about how older people are treated. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
For your many years working as a charity director, giving older people a voice, how did the older people you worked with feel about the younger generations?
Well, that was then. I mean, now's all changed.
Yes.
And it's really changed from school upwards. I have friends who are teachers, and they taught 30 years ago, and 30 years ago it was virtually chalk and board, and then it went to a whiteboard. But now, the tiny ones, 6 and 7s, work from their iPads, and they actually do the work on the iPads, and also the iPad can throw the picture onto the white screen.
Oh, wow.
So, for example, they can find dinosaurs, galloping, or whatever they do, galloping towards them. And it makes it completely different. So from a very early age, they've grown up with the internet.
Yes.
And that, for older people, is the biggest change, I would say.
Yeah, to embrace that sort of changes. Because to grow up with having the board and chalk, I remember those days. And it's quite a lot to get your head around,
I was going to ask you, what have been the main changes to life that you have observed in your lifetime?
Well, regarding the generations, firstly, the internet and the use of it has grown and grown and grown. I remember when the fax first came, and that freed us.
Yes,
you probably don't know.
I remember.
And we were able to read and even to sign things without going back to the office.
Yeah.
Before, when I was working, at the end of a meeting or anything at 4:30, I had to spend, an hour getting back to the office just to sign a couple of letters.
Wow.
And all that changed. And then, of course, the internet, and people now work from home. And they can
That's true. That does help.
The general behaviour has changed. I heard you talking earlier. It's not that they don't respect older people, the young ones. It's that in school they're taught to question nowadays.
Yes. True.
In the past, we received information from the teachers.
Yes.
And now in the schools they're taught to question what's
authority.
happening.
Yes.
Not the authority, the facts.
Yes.
Why did dinosaurs die out?
Yes, yes.
And they go home and they then question their parents and their grandparents. And it works the other way as well, in that we older people ask the young ones, and I entirely respect the views not only of my daughters and sons, in-law, outlaw, and but also the grandchildren. And my grandson knows much, much more about the whole internet, but also about using my phone. I can't do the simplest things. I mean, one of my son-in-laws refers to it's like teaching a chimpanzee, which isn't very flattering. But they show me, and I can do it. And then I don't use it for 3 months, that particular
and then you forget.
app or whatever it is. And then I can't get it. So there's an exchange of information. I mean, they do ask me, the grandchildren ask me about things to do with literature, for example, which I know about. And they ask me, and I hope they take on board what I say. And I certainly ask them a lot. And so the interchange has completely altered. Nowadays.
I like that.
That's very true. So, because I was just thinking about my mum. My mum is very much like that. It's like, funny enough, we question everything she says. If she says, "Oh, guys, I think you should do this, this, that," with her wisdom, I think you should do this, and we're like, "Mum, why? It would be easy to do this." But it's funny because she will always ask our opinions, and she will respect our opinions. It's really weird that way.
Yes. So you have somewhat embraced. The changes.
No, it's a good relationship. And older people these days do so much more. I mean, most of them. they go to classes, they watch things on the screen, on their internet or their iPad or their computer, their PC. And so the whole way of leisure time has also changed in that you had to go to a cinema to see the film. And now, although it's much better, of course, to see a film in a cinema because that's what they were made for, but people can watch it on any of their instruments. And that's also changed. It's bringing the outside world inside, which is good again for isolated people, that they can, you know, have some sort of interaction. But the isolated people, I think, are more isolated because the families move away. They move away from where they live or where they used to live, and so that there's nothing around. So we need swapper grandma so that somebody in Yorkshire can use the grandmother that's next door.
Oh, I love that.
And me in London can grandmother somebody next door to me.
That is beautiful.
We can start a trend.
Yeah, I like it. Can I ask a question? What do you hope will improve for women for generations to come?
Well, I'm quite sure that technology is advancing all the time. At the moment, I don't really do the Skype with the grandchildren. I do it with friends overseas, but somehow they don't seem to want to do the Skype with me, or I don't, or they think I can't do it. But I think all that will change. I've noticed people doing it on their own ordinary mobile phones, and I haven't done that yet. I've only done it on the iPad, which is at home. You know, I go home and I set the whole thing up with the camera. So I think technology will advance. I mean, I hope that the good things about the relationships between older people and the young ones will continue to grow, that people will respect each other and come together more, and that hopefully technology can help older people to take more part in the community generally.
Yes, because we do have some older generation that will not embrace. They still have the old phones, the big phones. They still don't want to do the Skype or emails. They prefer leave that to the younger generation. So I think it's also about embracing, you know, all the changes as well. And respecting each other.
I mean, even the ones that have family fairly near them, the people now go out to work. You know, the women now go out to work, so there isn't so much family around.
Yeah. So what do you think can be done to bridge this gap?
Or just, I mean, there are intergenerational projects that bring people together. The technology is a real way forward. I've been to the odd class, the Transport for London laid on classes. I mean, mainly to show us how to find out when the next bus was due.
Oh, excellent.
Instead of
You can find out when it's due, but you're too slow to get there.
There's so much available now.
You can plan ahead.
I mean, those sort of things. And there's a lot of older people that haven't used internet at all. And presumably that will change in the future, you know, as people like me get even older and you get old, you'll have grown up with it. But by the time you're 60, 70, it will have changed.
Yes.
But hopefully you can develop with it. But things are changing so fast, we don't realise, you know, how quickly it goes. And I'd like to see, you know, more generations making an effort to come together, to do things together. I mean, the older people are younger these days.
They are.
And looking at my grandchildren, they're older than we were.
Oh, I see.
You know, at 15, she's like a 20-year-old.
Yeah. You know, I was like taking some notes on what we need to do, because it's not just one way to say that the older generation needs to do things a particular way. I think we all need to listen, communicate better, as you said, you know, respecting each other, not being afraid to share, not being afraid to speak, to say, oh, well, I can't do this? Can you show me?
Yes.
Because that's the other thing as well. Sometimes we don't want to really say how we truly feel. To say, okay, I don't know how to Skype or I don't know how to send an email, but just to let someone know, and you can receive the help. Yeah, because help is available. It's just you need to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Indeed.
And of course, spending quality time.
Yeah. I was just going to say about the community. I mean, I think, okay, I know everyone is really busy. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
But I remember in my community growing up where there would be like, if let's say it was the World Cup, but everyone would watch it together. I don't know how they did it. I don't know who came up with it, but there was a community. So then all the neighbors would come, they would do a barbecue and that, you know, would create that, how do I explain? Like the young person will learn how to deal with the older person.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So maybe we need more of that. I know everyone's busy, especially London. It's not.
Gotta make time.
But exactly, we have to make time.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Carlie. You have added so much. And we've learned a great deal.
Really
So
nice.
we're going to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be back with more inspiring women. Next, we'll hear from inspiring women at the Divas of Color conference.